Fables and Folk Tales, Unit 1. So here we go. Hello friends. So let us look at Unit 1, Fables and Folk Tales, POORVI textbook, NCERT Class 6. So A Bottle of Dew is the first lesson from this unit. Let us first go with these activities before we read the actual chapter. Circle the picture that matches with each word. So the first word is worried. Worried. So look at both the pictures here. The first picture seems worried, a bit tensed. The second picture is plantation. Plantation is nothing but so many plants all together in a field. So the first picture best suits. The third one is sage. Here the first picture seems like a sage because here he is wearing a saffron colored clothes and with a beard and mustache looking like a sadhu. The fourth one is surprise. The second picture here seems a bit surprised, which is an emotion. Now let us ignore the second activity, which is a speaking exercise. Now let us read part 1 of A Bottle of Dew. So here on the left hand side you can see the hard words are given along with its meanings. Ramanatha was the son of a rich landlord. His father left him large tracts of land when he died. But Ramanatha did not spend even one day looking after his land. So his father, a rich landlord who was having a lot of lands and he was very wealthy, before he died, he gave him large tracts of land, which is nothing but large area of land. Ramanatha did not even step into that land and he looked after that, but instead he spent all his time looking for a funny idea that is nothing but a magic potion. He spent all his time to learn more about this magic potion. So he used to go to people and ask them, "Hey, can you please tell me about magic potion? How can we make it? Where can I find that?" So people often cheated him, promising him to tell that they know about this magic potion, but they ended up saying they don't know anything. But he did not give up. He just went on asking people and finding out ways and means to find out about this magic potion. He was married and his wife, named Madhumati, was tired of this exercise whatever he was doing, and also was worried because she saw how much money Ramanatha was spending on making his wish come true, that is finding the magic potion. She was sure that soon they would be without money. So he was just wasting all his wealth in the stupid idea of magic potion. One day a famous sage, as we have seen the sage here, so this sage, okay, so she saw how much money Ramanatha was wasting. So soon there entered one famous sage called Mahipati to their town. So Ramanatha became his follower and asked him about the potion. Obviously, when a sage or a sadhu enters our village or street or our town, we tend to go to him or her and then ask about our future, right? So to his surprise, the sage answered, "Yes, in my travels in the Himalayas, I heard how you could make such a potion, but it is difficult." Then Ramanatha was very curious to know about that and he asked, "Tell me," requested Ramanatha, not believing his luck. You have to plant banana plant and water it regularly with your own hands. In winter, the morning dew is on the leaves. So look at here, the meaning of dew is nothing but small drops of water on the leaves that form during the night. So during the winter season, when the snow falls and it is so much foggy, what happens is during the night this dew is formed, so which are nothing but droplets on the leaves the whole night, which just dwells up and just shines in the early morning sunlight, and you have to collect the dew and store it in a bottle. Okay, when you have 5 liters of dew, bring it to me. I'll chant some magic words which will turn it into magic potion. A drop of the potion will change any object into gold. So the sage asked Ramanatha to get 5 liters of dew, to collect 5 liters of dew and bring it to him, so that he will chant some magical words, and soon after chanting, that magical liquid will turn into magic potion. Okay, do you know the meaning of chant? Chant is nothing but to repeat or sing a word or a phrase, like you might have heard the priest chanting in the temples. Yes, now let us look at the remaining things. Ramanatha was worried, but winter is only for a few months. It will take me years to collect 5 liters of dew. So Ramanatha was actually worried to collect the dew. Okay, so he said, the sage said, you can plant as many banana plants as you want, but remember, you must tend it on your own. You have to look after those plants yourself and collect the dew with your own hand. So this was the condition which the sage has put to Ramanatha, and Ramanatha was listening to the sage all through his explanation about this magical potion. So let us discuss few questions. What did Ramanatha believe? Ramanatha believed in a magical potion. So that was a funny idea which ruined his entire wealth. The second question is, how did the sage help Ramanatha? So this sage, instead of saying directly that there is no such magic potion exist in the world, he just wanted to teach him a lesson. So he said, yes, back in my travels I have seen this kind of magical potion in the Himalayan region. So for that you have to collect 5 liters of dew and bring it to me, so that I will chant few mantras, and then that magical potion you can just get it in your hands. So do you think Ramanatha will be able to collect the dew? Give a reason. Obviously he will be able to collect the dew because he believed in the magical potion much more. So obviously he will be more hardworking, and he has a target in his life that he has to collect 5 liters of dew in order to get his beloved magical potion, right? Yes. Now going to the second part of this lesson, Ramanatha went home, and after talking to his wife, as I said, Ramanatha is already married, and his wife's name is Madhumati. So after talking to his wife about this, the whole process which the sage told him to do, the wife and him both, they started cleaning his fields, okay, which has been lying empty all these years. Lying empty all these years means that soon after the death of his father, he did not even looked back at his fields, or else the large tracts of land. But now the time has come, so the sage asked him to plant as many banana plants as he can. So now what he can do, he can clear his large fields, and in those fields he can plant those banana plants. So there he planted rows and rows of banana plants. He tended them carefully, and during the winter he started collecting the dew that formed on the leaves with great care and affection. His wife helped him too. Madhumati gathered the banana crop, took it to the market, and got a good price for it. Over the years, Ramanatha planted more and more banana plants, and they had a huge banana plantation. So, at the end of 6 years, imagine he just spent almost 6 years to collect 5 liters of dew. So, we can just imagine how much hard work he might have put in to collect the 5 liters of dew. So, he finally had his 5 liters of dew in a bottle. Now, what do you mean by tended? As I said, he tended them carefully during the winter, because hardly winter is for about 4 to 6 months in a year, and that is nothing much, right? So he has to wait years and years to collect the dew. Now, tended, which means looked after. So he looked after those banana plants with utmost care. So you can look at the picture here where Ramanatha is carefully looking at the banana plantation. He planted rows and rows of banana plants. And in this picture we can also witness the banana crop, the bananas which are just hanging on the plants. Right? So we'll just talk about those bananas later. Carefully he took the bottle to the sage. The sage smiled and again muttered something over the water. We discussed earlier that the sage said he would chant something on the dew, on the 5 liters of dew, so that it will turn into magic potion. So the sage smiled and he muttered, he spoke in a very low voice, a kind of chanting over the water. Then he returned the bottle and said, "Try it out." Ramanatha sprinkled a few drops on a copper vessel, okay, and waited for it to turn to gold. But to his surprise, nothing happened. Okay, and this is cheating, he told the sage, because Ramanatha was waiting for over 6 years for that stupid magic potion. But when he could notice nothing from the water, he said, "This is cheating. I have wasted 6 precious years of my life." But sage Mahipati only smiled and called Madhumati. "Madhumati, can you please come forward?" She came with a very big box in her hand. When she opened it, inside shined stacks and stacks of gold coins in that box. Okay, so here I have told that I have wasted 6 precious years of my life. What do you mean by precious? It's nothing but the valuable time in his life. Now the sage turned to the very surprised Ramanatha and said he was surprised. He was surprised literally to see the box full of gold coins. The beginning of the lesson, we have seen one picture of a boy who was surprised, right? So the same kind of emotion and expression even Ramanatha had on his face. There is no magic potion that can turn things into gold. This is a fact, we all know. You worked hard on your land and created this plantation. That's true that Ramanatha, despite of his fascination or obsession with the magical coins, he worked very hard day and night to create such a big and huge plantation. While you looked after the trees, your wife sold the fruits in the market. As we have discussed earlier, Madhumati used to take out the bananas to the market, sell it, and she used to collect all the gold coins, money. Okay, that's how you got this money, and it was your hard work that created this wealth, but not the magic. If I had told you about this earlier, you would have never listened to me. So I played a small trick on you. Ramanatha understood the wisdom, okay, the deep understanding behind the words of sage, and worked even harder on his plantation from that day on. So Ramanatha, at the end of the lesson, he learned a beautiful value from the sage words, that nothing is magical in this world. It is only the hard work that pays off. Now let us discuss few more questions here. Why was Ramanatha angry? Ramanatha was angry because he felt that the sage cheated him by asking him to collect 5 liters of dew. But at the end, what has happened? The sage, in spite of chanting or muttering few words over the water, but that water did not change into any magical liquid and nothing turned into gold coins. How did Ramanatha and Madhumati create wealth? Yes, so they created wealth by doing hard work on their plantation of bananas. So Ramanatha was tending those plants carefully, whereas his wife Madhuvati was involved in taking the fruits, which means the bananas, to the market, selling it there and collecting gold coins. Okay, yes. So I hope you have understood the lesson, you have understood the value behind this lesson. This is written by our beloved Ms. Sudha Murthy, a famous social activist, a beautiful author, and now also a member of parliament who has been selected unanimously. So let us all look forward for another video where I will discuss about the exercise and the questions involved in this lesson. For this video, signing off, your beloved Charmila.